Welcome back to Everything Bullpup. Howdy y'all, welcome to Everything Bullpup. I'm Roger, as usual. We're in the tent today, and we're talking about the X95. For full disclosure, weapon is clear, as always. 11 years active Army, not as a combat arms, but did a lot of shooting. Born and raised in Idaho, do a lot of shooting there. You can derive from that whatever you want. I'm also not sponsored by anybody. Just throwing that out there. So all of these opinions are my own, and they are what they are, right? I'm not beholden to anybody to give any kind of a slanted or biased review. These are all things and parts that I paid for with my own money, and so, you know, I have a personal stake in it. What we're talking about today is, in my opinion, the mod that needs to be done first and foremost. I am doing my own version of weapons immersion as I'm walking around with the X95, because that's what I grew up on in the Army. We got issued a weapon, and it had a blank firing adapter on it, and we walked around for the entire 9 weeks of basic training with this weapon at the low ready. I still remember Dressar Martinez, do not carry it by the charging handle or by the carrying handle. Professionals don't do that. Don't tighten your sleeves up. Professionals don't do that. Like, that was his mantra, right? 101st. Shout out to Dressar and Alfred Martinez. Anyways, so as I'm walking around with this thing, what I continue to notice, and as we go out to the range and stuff, is this middle finger wants to come up. It comes up, and it's almost, you don't even mean to do it, right? You put it down, you pick it up, and all of a sudden, and then you kind of like, well, that feels a little bit, oh, my middle finger's behind the trigger. Let me do that back. So the solution to that is this guy. This is the RX Arms pistol grip. There are several different companies that do a pistol grip for the X95. I know IWI does one that they show on the actual IDF weapons. It has a trigger well, it has a little bump, up here, and then you still can swap out the panels. Three Panthers, they have a version of this. That one, theirs actually has the cutlass as well, but it also now has a trigger guard. The problem with that is that one was a little bit more expensive than this one. This one is from RX Arms. I believe they're a Canadian company. And the coolest part about this is several different things. Number one, it just bolts right on. The stock grip is Phillips head, so you need a Phillips head screwdriver. This is gonna be a 3/16 Allen key that goes in this. The bottom just comes out. You can take two things to pinch, these two little notches, and this whole cavity drops out, and then you install it through there. You can also use this cavity to put tools in, Allen keys. You put cotton and Vaseline in a little Ziploc bag for fire starter. You can do a whole bunch of things with the little space that's in here. It's pretty cool, but it just bolts right on. The other really cool part about this is that they've made this so that the little bipod that goes on the bottom of the grip for the Tavor 7 bolts or goes right onto the bottom of this. So now you can have a bipod on here. It also has the cutlass, thanks to Brassfax and Hop for their video with their bullpups, and they were saying that you slammed your hand into things. So I wanted to retain the cutlass, and I wanted to have the trigger well. Let's install this, and then we'll actually go through it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We're out here in the desert, and we have our X95. It is clear. So we've already seen that the stock pistol grip has a tendency to have that middle finger come up behind, right? So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna be swapping it out with our RX Arms pistol grip. You can hear the bolt in here, right? There's gonna be two washers. Hopefully they haven't come completely off. I'll have to get them out of here. What you're gonna need for this, in order to get the stock one off, I have my hand dandy tab tool here, but you can use whatever you want. You need a Phillips head. That's to get the stock one off. And then you're gonna need two flatheads. I have a multi-tool and the tab tool. And then for the RX Arms hex, you're gonna need a 3/16. It doesn't come with it. I have one though, so you're gonna need one of those. Let's get into the installation. All right, so first things first, we're gonna start with taking off the old one, the stock pistol grip. We got right in here is our Phillips tab tool. And again, obviously you can use whatever screwdriver you have handy. The threads are misleading though. They actually go quite a far ways, so just keep that in mind. And then I have a trick with getting the new pistol grips on, which I've learned kind of the hard way because it takes a minute to do it. So just like that. And old one is off. Cool, now we're gonna work on getting the new one on. Now, the problem with the new one is that it has the tabs. Now, I don't know, the tabs kind of freak me out a little bit because they're kind of hard to deal with. I use my big file / screwdriver on here. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna take the one in here, push it, push it. Probably shouldn't do that, it'd be a copyright claim. Got the one, got the other, and out we come. just like that. The base comes off. We have our cavity in there that you can totally store stuff in. We have our 2 washers. Now the thin washer goes on first. It's kind of like a crush washer type of thing. There's no lock washer, just like a crush. Put that on. Put the thick washer on. It's going to take the brunt of the torque force. And now we're ready to go. We got to set up our tab tool a little bit. Put that guy back. Pop this guy out. Take out the stock one. Put all these other things away to include this one. There we go. Put this bad boy in here. There, now we're ready to go. All right, so the trick I've learned with these is to put the grip piece on first. Once you get that in there and kind of flush, it'll all go in together. Just like that. We'll put that down. This is kind of a tricky part of getting this in here. You gotta, see, I messed up and lost the washer. That's okay, we'll tip it down, we'll do it like that. We'll be a little bit more careful this time. Just like that. Once you get it in there, I don't know if the camera can pick it up from so far away, just like that. We'll put this in here and we'll start tightening her down. Now, as far as torque specs goes, I didn't see a torque spec on this bolt and how tight it should be. I tend to use German torque specs, Gudentight. That's an old Army motor pool thing, my 63 Bravos and 91 Bravos and 91 series, you'll all understand that. And from any of the other services, any other mechanics as far as I'm concerned, actually. That'll be fun. And we're getting tight, there we go, and that'll be good. Now again, I can fill this with whatever I want. As of right now, I don't have anything I want to put in there. So, I'm gonna take my cap, gonna put it right back on here, make sure our tabs get in there. Make sure everything lines up kind of nice and neat. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, there you go. Just like that. All right, so now it's time to do some drills. We have our X95. We just installed our RXR's pistol grip, and I can tell you right now, I'm already feeling it on my middle finger. Having that dedicated trigger well is just so great. We are gonna be doing a 1R1 on the target. Then we're gonna be doing a bill drill on the target, and I know it's kind of shut up. It'll be fine. And then we're gonna just do 3 or 4 rounds. I'm gonna go to some of this junk out here and slam the RXR's pistol grip against it and just get some feel for it and probably scar it up a little bit, right? That's one of the benefits of it. So, 1R1, 0 line, 7-yard line, here we go. Sights are up, practice it 1 time, cool. Range is going hot. All right, here we go, 1R1. We're gonna go for the B zone, because why not? All right, here we go. Oh, I messed it up. Gotta get used to this. Cool. Yeah, I mean, you can just feel it on that middle finger. It feels so much like an AR. It's nice. You know what I'm saying? It feels great. Bill drill time, 7 yards, 6 rounds, fast you can, in the A zone. It'll be kind of hard to see, but we can always go back on video and look at it later. Here we go. Magazine's in. Round is loaded, range is hot. Trying out the RX. My middle finger is still right up against that this whole time. And ready, hup. Woo! That's a good time. Both locked to the rear, we are clear. Now we're just gonna shoot some stuff. Okay, we're gonna run up here and hit this and put some rounds down range. And we're really gonna see if we can kind of scar this up. But typically with an AR, you slam it up against something, you have a whole magazine well to protect you. This we don't. I don't even have a grip or anything on here. It's just slick. So I like to kind of go from right here, and I'm gonna seriously, we're gonna try it out, all right? So bolts out to the rear, round is hot. I got 1 round in, and then I got 3 rounds in this mag, and we're gonna put some on that bucket out there. Oh, that's nice. Like that. I mean, yeah, like that just works. Both sides to the rear, we're clear. We're back on safe. Put some marks on it. That's fun. And I mean, you just feel it, right? I popped up against it and you could see that it took the brunt of it. And I mean, is it worth it or not? Ultimately, it's up to you. I say yes. It gives you the trigger well, gives you a compartment to hold stuff in, gives you the cutlass to retain it. If you don't like the look, that's fine. But I like it a lot. And then if you ever want to get that Fab Defense bipod, that slams right on the bottom too. I mean, it's a great addition for 40 bucks. The bang to buck is there. It's great. I will say that. I highly recommend this. It's great. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. If you're on Rumble, follow us on Rumble. And follow us on all the socials. We got the Patreon up. I appreciate any support to just keep doing this kind of stuff. And I appreciate it. We will see you all at the next video. Hopefully it stays a little bit warmer.